Guys, you can make this pretty dress all by yourself if you just follow my instructions. It's very easy. But for this dress, I advise you should have the basic knowledge to sewing before you attempt it. This is not just a simple tutorial. It's for those who already have the basic knowledge and they understand. Personally, I only learned pattern drafting. I really know how to draft pattern. Any pattern you bring to me, I can draft it for you. So, and I do not know how to do freehand, but I use the knowledge that I have on pattern drafting to cut my fabric with freehand. And it was very easy for me. So, if you also have a basic knowledge for pattern drafting, you can follow this video. But if you don't, I will advise you should get a pattern paper and draft your pattern on your pattern paper before drafting it on your fabric, so that any mistake you make you can correct it on the paper, or you will notice the mistake before transferring it to your fabric, to avoid all the mistakes or shortage of fabric and all that. So for this dress, all you need is your full length measurement, your waistline, your shoulder measurements, and the length of your sleeves. That's all you need. So because it has gathers down for my so the length, if you want it on your knee, above your knee, or below your knee, the length is very important. So if you want it, let's say above your knee, and your total length is like 35, this part I am drafting, you cut out 30, then you leave the 5 inch for the gathers. So when you cut out 30 here, you mark your chest line, your waistline, your hip, and that 30 where it stops. Join them together, and since you are drafting it directly on your fabric, please add your sewing allowance. For your shoulders, the sewing allowance is half. Your armhole sewing allowance is half. Your sides sewing allowance is 1 inch, and for down the hem sewing allowance is half. Please take note of all the measurements I just said, called out. And then you go to the back. If you understand pattern drafting very well, you know that what is at the back is different from what is in the front. If you don't know how to draft basic bodies, I have a video for basic bodies, so you should go and watch the video, then draft your basic bodies, and you can do any pattern you want from there. So the back is different, but it's just few alterations that are different from the back and the front. What you did in front, the length, the shoulder to waist, to chest line, to hip, to the hem, is the same measurement. So here we are not doing that, so you remove that, you remove the that, add the same allowance on your neckline. It is half. On your shoulders it is half. The armhole is half. The sides is 1 inch. The hem is half an inch. Please take note, the hem should be half an inch. If you make it more than 1 inch, you are not going to take more than 1 inch out, so you'll be adding to the actual length that you want to add. So please take note of that. Then you cut out, and please make sure you notch your waistline, your hip line, notch them, so that when you are sewing, you make sure they both meet, the back and front meet. So after sewing, I added a little extra, So I was trimming it off. You trim off, make sure you iron your clothes, open your lines and iron it well. I was supposed to do this before sewing it, but I totally forgot. But thank God I remembered before sewing my neckline, so I decided to do it now. So guys, please watch out for the second part to see the completion.